Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be looking at the AeroPress. Now, don't really think this brewer needs that much of an introduction, but if you haven't heard of the AeroPress, why not? This little thing inside this box is probably the most versatile coffee brewer on the market. It's that good, there is a world championship devoted to it. So, let's get it out of the box and let's brew. Right, so we've unboxed, and if you hadn't noticed, AeroPress look like they've done some new branding, and I'm really liking it actually. That red on there just absolutely pops off. It looks absolutely beautiful. It's about time they had a bit of an update. So anyway, what you get inside the box is you get the brewer. Basically it's just like a plunger. So it comes in two parts, nicely designed, fits on your cup perfectly, and it's a little plunger. Excellent. Then you get a little funnel, a scoop. My thoughts about the scoop: I'm not really that interested in the scoop because I'm going to weigh it out, obviously, but this is good for your weighing out your overnight oats for the next day, so we're just going to chuck that to one side. You get a little stirrer, you get the filter cap, and then you get a nice set of paper filters in the brewer. So basically, like I said, amazing little machine, really versatile, great for camping, great if you're out cycling, awesome to take to work if you don't want to drink mediocre coffee at work. And quite a few of you have probably seen that person who rocks up with the AeroPress and you're looking at them strange thinking, what are they doing? But what I would say is go and give it a try, because it produces awesome coffee. So basically, I'm not going to get into it too much. I'm just going to give you a basic recipe, one that is going to give you really good results for little work, really. There's thousands of different ways to brew on this, so there is some awesome brews you can create, and you can play around with it. It's just a nice little play thing. You can mess around, different grind setting, different water temperatures, different ways to brew it, different times to brew it, and you can get some absolutely amazing results. But like I said, I'm going to do probably the easiest way to brew on this, and the way that I like to do it if I'm in a bit of a rush on a morning and I want to just knock something up pretty quickly. It's only going to take a couple of minutes to brew, and you get some tasty coffee out of it. So there's a couple of ways you can brew this. You can brew the standard method, which is a pretty good way to brew it, but it's not the way I'm going to do it today, where you would literally put your filter in the cap, stick it on, pop your coffee in, pour your water in, and then plunge. But I like to do the inverted method. So the inverted method, you want to set up like this. The reason behind that is I feel, because I'm going to brew it pretty quickly, I want as much contact time with the water and the coffee as possible to get the best extraction. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in with 16 grams of coffee. So I'm going to use the little funnel, which is just an absolutely great addition to the AeroPress. Pop my 16 grams in. I've already weighed that out. Grind size, I would probably go for a finer grind, so medium fine, not as fine as espresso. Knock it back a couple of clicks. You want a medium to fine grind, basically, because you want to up that extraction in the coffee. And then what I'm going to do is just flatten off the coffee bed inside the AeroPress, sit it on my scales, tear my scales off, and I'm going to add 250 grams of water. So that is going to be as much as you can possibly fit into this brewer. So it's pretty easy. All the way to the top, 250 grams. I would recommend getting a set of scales and weighing this out, just for the simple reason, if you brew an absolutely delicious tasting coffee, you want to be able to recreate that. And the only way you can recreate that is if you know exactly what you've done the previous time. So boil the kettle. One little tip, what you want to do is you want to get your filter paper into your filter cap, and you want to just pour some water on that. Give you a nice purchase on the filter cap with the filter, and just sit that to one side. Right, I'm going to go in with 250 grams of water. And that's going to get you right to the top. Now I'm just going to give it a little stir. Make sure you get all those grounds saturated. Stick that to one side. I'm going to let this brew for 1 minute. Right, while it's brewing, I'm just going to stick my filter cap on the top. Give it a little press down until you see some bubbles coming out of the top. And just leave that for a minute to brew. Right, 1 minute is up. And all in all, that's probably taken me around 2 minutes to grind, to brew, and now we're ready to pour. So, no technique to this really, just want to be careful because there is boiling water in here. I hold both parts of the brewer, pour it over, and then we just need to plunge. Once you start to hear it hiss, you are done. Give that a little bit of a shake, pop that to one side, and there you have it. AeroPress in about 2 minutes. I think initially the AeroPress, when it was invented to create a bit more of an espresso style coffee. Obviously the specialty coffee industry has taken it on board and has just played around with so many different recipes that you could be brewing for weeks and weeks and weeks on end and you would never ever get bored of it, basically. What I find with the AeroPress is it just creates a real rich, full-bodied coffee which is pretty clean because it goes through a filter, but because it's had that immersion brew, you get a really rich, full-bodied cup of coffee. I'm using our new Peruvian, really nice and clean. It's a wash coffee, but it just adds so much body and so much texture to the brew that first thing on the morning, nice and easy, nice and quick, fresh, delicious, specialty grade coffee in your cup, nice and easy, and you just great results. That's it. That is the AeroPress. That is a quick, easy recipe for the AeroPress to get delicious results. Get yourself one bought, try it, play around with it. You will not be disappointed. Thanks for watching. As always, stay focused. Drink delicious coffee.